Welcome everyone to another live stream. We fixed enough. 5 years live on YouTube, we can finally build our Linux distribution. We fixed enough the last days, PS3 and stuff, even got SG02 working. So let's build it. Is it even? Oh, this is not even the. I'm not sufficiently prepared here, actually, turns out, for some reason. So let's build everything, let's go. We have a couple of small things to do. So basically, ThreadRipping, slightly irritated, always some hiccup. I do have at least 0 frames, but somehow my YouTube dashboard here is not the most snappy. Whatever, something is up with YouTube, but let's hope we're live. So yeah, let's reset. So the first thing, we have here quite some changes. Wipe all the builds, previous test builds, Epic, Itanium, all those good stuff. Let's quickly check two last things. One is Usability, right? Muscle or whatever you want to call it. 1.2.4, or actually here. Let's see if there is a new release, and similar to Usability. I think yeah, we package Usability as Usability NG because this NG stuff is pointless to me to package separately. So also I did this wrong. Print directory 1.6. Yeah, turns out there is something quite newer. Good that we checked. So that is exactly why do we do this live streams. We have stuff to do. We have code to fix, code to build. It shows live. Somehow it doesn't show me stats. Not really sure what's going on. Stream is healthy. Whatever is going on there with YouTube stuff. The question is, should we update Usability 1.0.4? You know what? Let's update both. Int build all arch. Which one would be? Do we build AVR? Which do we build with? Let's better check. Int build all. What do we build with Usability? OpenRisk, of course. OpenRisk Usability. Actually, I should check if they are no subscriber stuff updates. Welcome everyone. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good night. Audio and video is fine. Happy to hear that. And now also at least partially the YouTube. No, but it's still okay. The YouTube dashboard still doesn't show me the main stats. Anyway, at least it shows me that in the activity graph. Okay, so that I could just update to 45, but we could also give it a very short test build and see if it is extremely broken. I will not build everything, just like a tiny little bit. Okay, bootstrap, what would that be? Yeah, maybe we give it 5 minutes. And then 1.2.4, latest is 1.2.4. What do we have? Somewhere. Maybe here. Muscle. Preferred pronunciation always welcome. If you want to run and correct my English, German. So that is the latest version, right? 1.2.4. 1.2.4 was, I believe. Maybe we should. So yeah, nothing to see there apparently. News somewhere. Comparison. News home. Direction FAQ. Browsers download. 1.2.4. And was it? Okay, whatever. By the way, previous video, right? Real professionals list there. Secure advisories. You know what? I think it's fine. It's build some stuff. Commit this. So all the patches should have been applied to configuration, and it's probably fine. Oh darn, there was a change. Darn it, need to be more. Okay, fine. It's what it is. What it is. So and then we build everything. We are doing fine. Hope you're all doing. How are all of you doing? So wipe that immediately, and before we now start the serious builds, let's change the build number. So I wanted to build this as 24.1, and that would kind of sort of make sense. I nearly would have, I mean, that's a question now, right? We have date-based releases, or I mean, we don't have date scheduled releases. We do dated releases when stuff is ready, like now. Well, we would love a GCC release, but it's not like the GCC gods would give us a release probably, because the previous stable release is still so broken that we need the latest patches. So I'm a little bit torn between faking this as 24.1, but as it's already February, it is what it is. So it's a question, does it look better for marketing, or should we do it accurate? And it's like, okay, for marketing probably doesn't matter. If someone doesn't want to write about this with .1, .2, it's fine. So the question is now, do I have all the swap enabled? ThreadRipping for this, because as you see, we need quite some swap. Okay, let's one last. I think that's. Oh, did I not close it? Here. So we build x86. So I have this actually scheduled that we build major variants first. So x86, they a little bit staged. So clang uslibc so that we would notice earlier if something fails. So I guess maybe one last look. Does this old config, or because sometimes I had the issue that it didn't regenerate the version. If configs and config. Where is the build? Maybe I should. Oh, didn't turn on my studio lamp for even more even lighting. So build target. Maybe we should actually. Do we do config somewhere? Or do we do straight build target? Maybe we actually want to do that. It's probably a good idea. Maybe we do that here for simplicity. Why is this so strange? Why is this so strangely indented? So for old config, it's probably a safe thing, and anyway, it only takes some seconds. Better old configs than sorry. I had this a couple of times build starts with, so because I have the config there from previous test builds. So build all, I guess we need tmux, right? So that builds everything, and while it builds everything, we probably can still do a couple of things. So it's basically, we leave that here for the overview, and oops, I have this here too, okay. Log in here a second time, 4, 5, okay, wait, 4, that's 4. I'm logging in here a second time for the reason I have this here with this tmux thing, and if I work now there concurrently, then my nicely scripted tmux positioning will be distorted. So I rather not have that. So, right, not tmux add. So go here a second time. So basically a second fresh tmux. By the way, maybe SVN up. Is there anything coming? Okay, not. We could, so as usual, I have actually, basically it's the last call. Last call, do I have, I don't have a bell in the office. Virtual bell, ding ding, unless I need to pack my MT32 out or start MT32 emulation for ding ding ding, last call. I actually I do that, the polls on my channel are real, right? I ask because I really like to know. So if you had one wish for your desktop Linux distribution, not only T2, for you, whatever, even if you run Arch Linux, we still love you. If you had one wish, comment there, because I seriously, yes, I misuse not only YouTube to have an income for open source, finance our increasingly outstanding news distribution, but I use it as collaboration project management stuff. I should, okay, let's click that there. Okay, 88 almost on YouTube. And so yeah, seriously commented there. You can comment something here, but seriously there, because I will actually really go there and take inspiration of what to improve. What guys you find lacking on, like, or what is, if nothing is lacking, leave there what is the most important. And so yeah, while this is building, of course, we can still do some stuff. I mean, for one thing, so we fixed a lot, right? We fixed everything we broke and then some, we updated stuff, we implemented new features. Plus some, of course, there will be other last minute fixes, because obviously all those builds here will find something. And by the way, I schedule this intentionally with 10 threads. We have 32 threads, but there will be massively staged builds. They are staged some 5 or whatever minutes, so that staged so that all the extremely parallel builds of LVM Clang are not all occurring at once, to optimize memory and swapping and stuff, LTO. Otherwise, the big LTO runs run quite concurrently. And years ago, I learned from my mistakes. Years ago, I deadlocked a couple of times with over-committed memory, deadlocked the Linux kernel. It doesn't like that. So yeah, there are some small things. So some things we can rolling release fix. For example, like it's boring. Even I don't want to do it. So yeah, whatever. So yeah, committing the GCC snapshot actually, that would have been a good thing to do. Okay, we actually could have, you know what, I should have read my, it starts at 5950X. Let's, I think this was that. Probably you should use IP addresses, like maybe I should use name lookup of SSH 5950X. I hope it's online, because, okay, why is there now a red LED? Should there not be? I think this bloody firmware is confused. I think the last time it woke up, so it's just, it woke up from memory. I mean, not the biggest thing, that the LED indications are not correct. And now it's fucking off. What? There was a red LED on, or what? And now it's off. So I'm not making this shit up. So something is fucking broke with the bloody latest firmware of this Asus X570 Ace Pro thing. That's like that. So first the red LED stayed on, whatever that is, and now everything is off. I'm pretty sure the blue or white or whatever LED should be on for system fully up, but no. And that's something the Linux kernel should not do. That's something the ACPI firmware of course does. So I have here some random shit, which is of course not good. Probably should go there, which is also partially just some random nonsense, obviously. Like this one, I probably can just plain out delete. Probably, famous last words. Whatever I have here with Musel. Alright, this was this. Okay, we probably also, you know what, I don't have this on my main build server, whatever that was, I have no idea. Maybe we test build this for something that failed, I don't even remember. Some random, this is just some, did I not post this Unra profile? With post I mean commit. Did I not seriously commit this? Someone commented on a previous video where I profiled that from the airport or stuff, that whatever 7-zip also can do Unra. Which I usually, I just use Unra, but good to know. Was it not here, or was it on my, maybe it was on my more main channel. So yeah, now the staged builds start. So that will be fully loaded. So the whole build of all architectures plus fixes, plus minor fixes will take less than 48 hours. Maybe even less than 36 hours, as highly optimized and epic ThreadRipping 7950X is. And 96 gigs of memory, I believe, right? So yeah, commit, right, we wanted to commit this, we digressed a little bit. Let's commit this one here. I believe this one is slightly also wrong. deleted, modified, so I think that should be slightly newer. I mean, we could even go, yeah, to builds. It's not the super nicest thing to do now, because to build started a little bit, should have. But yeah, YouTube or not, this would have also happened for other, I mean, with other distributions, you would just not see it. There is even too many terminals as usual. Let's latest 13. They have 27. GCC. Do I have here 13, 27, 1 week newer? Oops. Let's take that one, slightly newer, and run with that, build with that. By the way, I didn't even want to drink coffee at this time. I wanted to switch off the bloody coffee machine, and on the mode dial, I didn't like spoil it or what it rinse. I missed rinsing by one click, and yeah, got a coffee. Darn it. Did I switch it off? No, probably. Too much too. Not the coffee at this time, and then yet more coffee. Anyway, rotary lights. Okay, so we will do this in a second. That's of course not important here. Loader. So some also Quake. Let's move it here because we could even do like basically the build will run a while, and while doing so we will not touch it the most. I see there's also package lib hybris. Not important. This was viewer wish. If you want to wish stuff, comment now or in the thread. So fix image Qt6 base would not build. Okay, yeah, this is just basically sort all of Qt5 and Qt6 priorities. I, by the way, spent an extra 45 minutes recently, and I went through all the Qt6 and Qt5 metadata and updated this. Right in the previous video I said, nah darn, I copied when I last year split, last year? Or maybe even 2 years ago, a while ago. Time is running, man. 5 years live on YouTube feels like 1 year. When I noticed, because historically they didn't have that, like split into multiple modules, they only had Qt everything or so, I believe, mostly, I guess, maybe. Qt3 and stuff, Qt4. So when I noticed Qt5 stuff has the split to modules, I appreciated that and packaged that. But I copied all the metadata. So all the Qt packages had Qt, blah, 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 toolkit system, yada, yada. So I now changed all the metadata to to one lines, right? I copy and pasted that as good. Ironically, even Qt on their GitHub does not have proper description for some of the modules, probably the YOLO, whatever, extra add-on modules. They don't even have a proper description. So they have a very short one. So anyway, but a short description is better than all having the same Qt base, whatever, obviously. So, so yeah, did that. I think I checked that, and that was just some man page or whatever. I check some. Yeah, so yeah, this is just some timestamp in time. It's not. It would be nice, but yeah. So some of the stuff. So it will remain in my, like, again. If some of the stuff is highly important for you, vote for that, right? Like as this checksum, we will do this eventually. I cannot do everything today, right? The day only has 24 hours, and I cannot work through all nights. Eventually we will improve stuff, obviously, I mean, similar to Apple and Microsoft, right? Or even Oracle's broken Linux, they all prioritize stuff. And my prioritization is stuff that core stuff works and stuff that I need work. By the way, audio still works. Amazing. So commit GCC to some snapshot because fixes. It's probably fine, right? Looks fine, smells fine, tastes fine, probably is fine. That was probably here, right? So SVN up that. So okay, there's fully. That was GCC disk. No, completely conflict resolution. Darn it. Why is this still in conflict? Did I not tell there fully? Conflict resolution 4 already deleted patch. Thank you very much. Force, yes. This is in the snapshot. So this, if you're wondering, even, I said this before, you have seen this here live on this channel, even the latest and greatest last stable release, not stable, it broke at least Spark, 64, maybe Itanium, maybe something else. So a couple of architectures that historically always were a little bit more miscompiling, less perfect, because only David S. Miller and some Debian developer and I fix stuff. Also, yeah, those need that, right? And even they even have fixes for x86. So. Do you use Mastodon? Yes, I do. I'm on Chaos Social. Let's see, Chaos Social. Yes, here. Here have that, of course. Of course we do. We are even theoretically on Reddit. Just, I mean, we will, now with the community expanding, we will probably soon have more moderators and stuff. We are even on Reddit, theoretically. Just, people said, but are you on Reddit? And yeah, Reddit. I mean, I'm personally on Reddit longer. All right, I was not yet on Reddit. It's a brand new test install, right? It's like a pre-release build from last week. Everything works, and even audio sometimes. Previous video. What would even the Reddit be? That T2 SDE maybe from memory, plus minus, give or take. Yeah, somewhat. No, not with Google. Reject non-essential. There you go. Not yet the largest. I mean, even our Discord. Hey, 42. Even our Discord has over 200, 250 Discord stuff. Yeah. Let's paste everything. So yeah, we will probably. I mean. Yeah, sometimes I post it here now, right? I mean, just to keep it alive. If more people tune in there, I will use it more. Where's even my mouse cursor? There's my mouse cursor. There is that, and to Discord. Oops, focus. Discord is GitHub linked here. To store the permanent link should be this one, right? But of course, go there via GitHub. Maybe leave some sponsorship on the way and similar. Such good stuff. So yeah, this stuff is getting fully loaded. Did IVS spin up this? So all the builds will accept the very... I mean, even the very first one will rebuild the cross-compiler. So... yeah, perf data, let's delete this. So let's... So while this is building, I actually should work through that here and clean up some stuff. Usually some random... What is even build target? What do we have in there? I shortened that. Yeah, so basically this is a mission of... Yeah, I guess we can commit this. So what this does is, instead of... like, because I wanted to copy it and I couldn't copy it, right? And then I reset. Usually even log messages have usability. Even for your projects, right? And yeah, this is why I polished it. It annoyed me once. Don't fool me twice. Then we committed, because this way it's not shortened. I believe that should be the yeah, removing base. So that is then a relative path here. So removing pointless like binary package here, and instead making this a valid like full path, like not shorted path but full path, so that you can actually copy and paste it with your mouse, right? So tiny little usability improvements on the way. How do we call this? Log full binary package path or whatever. Yeah, it's fine. I guess. Something like that. All right, theoretically, theoretically we haven't finished grub fully. What is with xterm? What have I done with xterm? Is it an update? Right. Oh, this was so stupid. You can't also not make this build errors up. Like even like you built xterm for 25 years and then in 2024 it started to fail. I believe it even. This is really so ridiculous. Theoretically, I should debug why this happens. Like only for x86 it started to occur. Not to find libx11. Absolutely mind-blowing. I have no idea why this only occurs for x86, not even -64. It's like, yeah. Like, 34 architecture combinations built, and that does not build. So what do we have here is this is some super H workaround. Okay, let's monitor that a little bit more. What is this? VPA supplicant. What have I done there? Maybe some config file. Yeah. I believe that probably is a empty. So that's basically, this is instead of installing the tiniest whatever config file, instead of using their name, using the name that VPA supplicant actually use by default at tiny little improvements. Install, install this. Because then you only need to go in there, put your preset keys to just match default. Default. If default file name and stuff, it just gets longer. It's like install example as just match default. Otherwise, it's only longer, and everyone knows already what it's about. So yeah, we're getting loaded, fully loaded. And this is why staged, we're approaching load 30, right? Like this, if you're wondering why do we build only priority 10 instead of 32, it's like, yeah, it is excessively, how did we call it? It is embarrassingly parallel, right? In case of Intel, AMD, or Altera, Ampera, 1-2 hardware sponsors. More stuff. So basically sorting some more stuff in that we always build with. Here is some, what is this, memory? So yeah, we have quite, we have actually some pipe wire. AL, is this, what have I done there? Pipe wire, not even sure what changed there. Okay, soft utils false. Okay, I just removed that's not super ideal, even I didn't see that on the first glance. Theoretically, yeah, my new style would be, even I refine my style over the centuries, right? And that is probably, I would now type it slightly differently, but never say never, but kind of sort of never touch code lines that are not part of the change. Yeah. So I guess it was necessary. As I've written that, I guess it was necessary. I don't quite remember, but probably must have been like that. So I guess this should be fixed. Even if it's not fixing that, pro tip, commit instantly, because months later you don't even know what it was for anymore. But even if it's not really strictly needed, at least it's with our new optional dependency, auto marking becoming an optional dependency. So build with out Qt5 or something set. Was it? Yeah, Qt5. So there goes that. Actually didn't mark optional dependency, but it's fine. So yeah, I hear the AIO working harder, right? So that is exactly the build load we are here for. Whatever. Yeah. The developer of BTOP really needs some embarrassingly parallel, because it works, it's just a little bit glitchy, but anyway, so yeah, still working through stuff. This is, if you're wondering, is it a little bit unclean to work on the tree while it's being built? Yes, in an ideal world, like if we would have had even more sponsoring, it would be even better to totally separate that. But for a still relatively smallish project, I would consider that it's at the edge. I understand it's at the edge of best practice and okay-ish, but it just builds all so long, right? What did I do with Arcload? It's basically mostly committing. This is okay, no LTO. It's basically a no operation. because I can revert that, because it's technically probably correct, although, okay, you know what, it's, but I mean, you probably can't build arc load with Clang, so, but yeah, I guess fixed arc load to no LT or even this. Clang should this ever build? Probably not, but yeah, it's technically correctly probably better, so yeah. I have it done already. So let's document it. Why is this still? Did I somehow? I thought I did. I not svmrm force or whatever is it? I hope I didn't delete some other patches previously. Oh, what was with Usability? Did we not commit this yet? Oh, apparently not. But we have the build running, right? Clang. So the way I've staged that is like all the major build variants run first, because we have like 28 glibc and 2 or 3 Usability and 2 Musel and stuff. So I have primary used x86-64 glibc first, Clang, like one Clang, one Usability, so that those builds run first. So if there's some breakage, I see it first, and then all the other repetitive stuff that usually then doesn't have different arrows. Do not have different arrows at the end. Greetings there from Senegal, that is amazing. Greetings back from Germany, happy to see you all here. The name, I just wanted, the name was on a glance, I thought I knew this name, but it was like different. Anyway, so good. This stuff is building, so Usability that probably, where is even the Usability build? PowerPC. So PowerPC runs first because it is, so basically all the build variants include A30, like it's PowerPC 64, not because we love Open Power, Power Macintosh and P3 so much, which of course we do, but because it's a 32-bit, we have 3 or so, or 4 actually. We have PowerPC 32-bit for not epic ThreadRipping performance, when G5 was not that fast, and memory benefits and stuff, P3, cache and memory utilization. MIPS, Spark, 64, of course we built a pure 64-bit build, but for more memory efficiency and slightly high performance on Ultra Spark. And theoretically X30, not theoretically, and also additionally X32 for that specific AMD 64 with 32-bit pointer variant, but using all general purpose registers and so on. So, builds are building. Just like I'm expecting build errors, right? We will do, theoretically we could leave it running like kind of sort of overnight. Not sure if it makes the most sense if community wants to tune in and stuff. And the next build is like here. This thing is loaded, obviously. It's probably fine. Built something already. Yeah. So we already load average over 39. We will get a load average of this tiny little system of this tiny little Ryzen. ThreadRipping Ryzen. Should I roll again over a cable? Hello, cable. Even my Ethernet switch cable, that would be fat if we damage that. I need to cable management here, man. So, more stuff. So theoretically we have still the Apple set, that's also the wrong system actually. Unless we want to have fun emerging other stuff here on my local workstation. Oh, 1550X. So yeah, the other stuff is probably there. What even is that? I could just delete it, or okay, I'm not even sure. Ah, right. Did I finish this change? I should actually check if I finished this change. Very theoretically, but then I really stop. I saw in some testing, ironically, yeah, when I took for my cache modified AMD K6 2 Plus that I cache modified to unlock, like I soldered a bloody resistor differently there. Video coming soon. So when I had this test system, Super Socket 7 system on my desk and took some random, like I took literally the cheapest, like NVIDIA NV1, no, Permedia 2, no, Voodoo 2, no, ATI Mach, okay, the cheapest card I probably got for free or for €1 or whatever, plugged in there, the cheapest card, just not to fry an NVIDIA NV1 or stuff, and its segmentation for its X server, right? So theoretically, we probably, I checked, the other week I checked online, there wasn't a ATI Mach 64 change. Very theoretically, we probably should give that a try and debug why that 2024 and X servers that have no may have no point of being touched unnecessarily are broken by random cleanups and not whatnot when everyone should use Wayland, but nah. What should I say? Maybe I should, is it on the to-do already? But I mean, that is really the last, I'm not even, yes, what is that even? P3, oh, yeah, this is fine. All right, this failed some, okay, it's, you know what, I probably should copy that over to here. So to do done, at least on this sample, I don't need anymore. So we're getting there, cleaning up here. What is this? ThreadRipping. Okay, there is some major update pending apparently. I guess I put this in the to-do because it looks unfinished. Probably doesn't work. Oh, wrong system, too many. Yeah. Do I have this on the to-do? No. Update ThreadRipping. ThreadRipping. Let's revert that here because this somehow looks. I've run update once and that didn't work. So, what else? GMP prof. Did I not commit that for some reason? Why is this not committed? Did I profile stuff and not committed? Not sure why this is not committed. More workspaces than usual. I only clean up the 1350X because I had here the GCC snapshot thing. Not really sure why I had that here. Could commit that, sounds like maybe something needed that earlier. Turn a little bit earlier. Let's see if that poses a problem. So, back to sleep. Hello? Yeah, red light is on. Yeah. PC BIOSes. If Asus is watching on Linux, maybe on Windows, I don't know, I don't run Windows on Linux, suspend to memory, wake up, your bloody power good LED does not come back on your logic board. Yeah. Welcome everyone. Anthony and friends and family. So, what else do we have here? Stuff building. So probably some build failed because one window they closed. Let's see, build. Oh, also SVN up because latest changes. Did it, or maybe I did already. Okay, something failed. Let's see what. var adm log squashifs. Why does squashifs fail? Some Usability build. Okay. We probably should. I mean, it's we just shouldn't apply Usability patches. This also means that the Usability patch doesn't apply. But maybe the real fix is actually Usability. I mean, fix and fix, but unless you build on a Usability system, which is highly unlikely, but somewhere we add patches, maybe somewhere here. What code is that here? Package Usability, config sub. Okay, I don't want to break that here's the most now, as this is otherwise working, so I guess add, if not, add stage tool chain, and I probably should grok like that, right? What are my pronouns? I basically don't care. Call me whatever. If you misgender me, I do not care. If you call me they, them, that is fine too. Basically, whatever you fancy, you can use your pronouns for me. But I respect other people's pronouns because I'm not an idiot or asshole. How fast do I type? Actually, basically, I mean, I'm not typing the most 100% accurate. I'm aware of that. Probably because as a child, I obviously didn't learn proper 10-finger stuff, but eventually as a child, I practiced a little bit. I remember probably had some machine typing training program even on DOS, so on even 386 SX25, I probably practiced a little bit. But I never, I don't know what, I mean, I probably type 98-ish%. Yeah. I'm probably typing 90 or 95-ish% correct 10-finger layout thing. I recently, because due to some stupid YouTube comment, actually measured that. I just like last year, just because I was wondering myself how bad I type, I actually used some online thing and it was decently fast with correcting. But because I don't that often write long natural language text, but mostly but by the way, I probably type more correct natural language than computer language typing, because computer language typing includes so many special characters, for which, especially in the German layout, we have the bloody brackets and curlies there at 7, 8, 9, and 0, and have alt graph and stuff, which I find. Maybe I should have switched decades ago to a programmer's first layout, but I found it a waste of time. Basically, it's probably better I type usually QWERTY. Anyway, so yeah, typing natural language text was surprisingly less error prone, and it was decently fast. It was like secretary speed level of what is typing speed? What even was it? Whatever that was, just yeah. It was not competitive speed. It was here in the high. Maybe it was somewhere. I mean. Yeah, it was something like that. It was 60, it was it was here in this ballpark somewhere. In whatever, I used the next best Google just when you're asking, but yeah. It's fine, yeah. The one thing I probably should do is be less trigger happy. And of course some things I realize myself, but it's extremely difficult to change after 20 years, right? Especially, I didn't even know, so I also constantly learn things, right? I didn't even know that Control U was a thing. I never use Control U here for undoing this typing. I learned that just the last 12 months or so on YouTube comments when someone commented, I triggered someone of constantly Control C. For me it was Control C was natural, and I only saw some person was extremely triggered that I Control C the whole time, and they said, how dare you? I call you Mr. Control C. Like, how can you press Control C? It's like, it's Control U. It's like, you Control U what? So yeah, 25 years later, you learn new shell tricks, but. Yeah, I mean, maybe I should Control U more than, but I mean, YOLO, who cares? It's probably, maybe Control U. I wonder if, you know what, let's strace bash, because Control C is zig in, right? Do we have, is Control U a, so yeah, Control U, so your Control U is way less, like for micro-optimizing your Unix kernel task switching. Control C is way heavier, right? As you see, you get a zig alarm, zig interrupt or whatever. So there is, where even was it, zig action of somewhere? Yeah, zig int. So yeah, you get in zig int, so you probe, yeah, so yeah, Control C is heavy, man. So if you want to optimize your machine cycles on a typing on an XT, also then use, pro tip, the true professional shell tip, use Control U and not Control C. Which sometimes, by the way, when on some system zig int handling was, by the way, broken, maybe Octane, like Octane stuff was super broken, right? When I auctioned my Octane in 2006 for like €100 or whatever that was, everything was broken, right? I should have known that 15 years ago when interrupt handling was broken for not killing my shell with broken signal handling on MIP64 or whatever. So yeah. Yeah, I do. So basically every time I mistype, like basically my mistype, like I typed something I didn't like script, whatever, it's like, oh no, it's Control C, right? But I mean, yeah, my epic ThreadRipping Horizons can certainly, I don't have an Intel system. My AMD system can, my AMD rig can handle Control C. But hey, at least it's an operating system stability test. Can your operating system handle massive, can your operating system handle flood loads of Control C interrupt? Yeah. So let's switch here to loads. We are busy. We should actually get our Usability build going again when I just find focus here. Control R, you say. What does Control R precisely? Control R, you mean research? Yeah, search, of course. Yeah, reverse. Yeah, I mean, Control R was probably, when I learned Control R, probably a little over 20 years ago. That was like, yeah, or like maybe even 25 years. I don't know. It was Control R was the biggest improvements of Unix usability experience probably ever. Maybe leave in the comments below what was your biggest performance improvements of Unix terminal use. Your GitHub says they them. Don't know if that's. No, it's basically fine. It's it's not sarcastic, or it's basically I'm open and respectful to others people's. By the way, But I also just put it there to basically to spread awareness and be open, right? Just the other day, the ISO, because we are ISO member or ISO liaison member of PDF stuff, right? I'm the project lead of PDFR standard of raster graphic subset. And so the ISO website recently asked me, like yesterday or so, logging in there, and they wanted to know my birth date and whatnot and gender stuff. And I nearly put their non-binary just because. But then I saw in the, like I had already non-binary, wanted to click save, and then I saw there like star, we use this for our inclusive whatnot report, and then I put their mail just to be fair. I didn't want to bias. Not that the ISO's not like, we are so inclusive, and then just like 3 random dudes clicked their binary, so I switched it back to mail just to be fair of not pretending the ISO whatever standard committee stuff is more inclusive than they potentially are. But to be fair, I don't have the ISO, PDF ISO people are all great people, right? Not to put this in. I only know the PDF people, but all of them are actually really amazing people to work with, unless some like GNU authors in the YouTube comments who have flame wars here in my YouTube comments of allegedly deleting their comments for whatever. Hey dude, if I would delete your comments, I would delete all of them and not half of them. So either you or YouTube deleted them. Stop spamming me 1 year later that I mispresented your GNU project. Like, you. And what even? People have problems. I mean, yes, I'm myself critical, but at least I'm not flame bombing people at all or 1 year later about their bloody download sites. So, and when I'm depressive here, then only because stuff is so broken. It's not like I only call out, like, if your website is broken and doesn't have download links, then your website is broken and doesn't have download links. You don't need to fight with me 1 year later that you had 404 links on your website. Man, people and their problems. Probably explains why GNU step is not in more wider use, especially when they had 404 download links for a year or whatever. Yeah, I probably should read less. Actually, I wanted to check the Control R stuff. So, Control R, happy to hear that. After using Bash for 20 years, oh man, that is slightly sad. But to be fair, I also never read the whole freaking Bash manual. Actually, I made one mistake when I was young and naive. I actually printed some freaking manuals, like even CVS maybe. Like like when I was maybe 17 or 19 or I don't know what, 18. Like I even have recently thrown some away. I carried some around for 25 years. I've recently printed the Subversion manual, the CVS manual, maybe even the Sane standard when I wrote a center, like stuff I would never do again. But to be fair, I mean, 25 years ago, I had like a 17-inch CRT or so. It's like, yeah, maybe. But yeah, that's also times change, right? 25 years ago, you printed a bloody manual and read it in bed or with a tea or whatnot. Especially, I would say modern, sitting on a 15-year-old TFT LCD. Obviously, modern displays are probably way nicer on the eyes than CRT refreshing, like flickering. I mean, not that you would see the flickering, but, and also obviously not as sharp. But leave in the comments below your experience. So yeah, I printed some menus. I mean, I also have some O'Reilly, as I pronounce right, books. I like SED and org. I might even have the Perl book. I would need to check my office library. This kind of books, you buy a Perl book because it was the hottest, like this was the Unix thing like 25 years ago. You buy the book, which is like, you read the books like, dude, why did I buy this book? I mean, the language totally sucks. It's like, dude. And that as a 18-year-old saving money for bloody expensive book of whatever the overpriced O'Reilly books are, and it's like, instant regret. What? How can people, it's like, dude, what is wrong with those people designing this language? Anyway, happy to hear that you're an Emacs user. Also, there's some Mastodon action going on. Not really sure what though. Ah, more followers, that is amazing. Welcome all. Appreciate that. So, stuff building, what else can we, oh, this is also, so it's by the way a new bug, right? So somehow I have so many courses. I'm aware this was not enough space and stuff, but load 60, right? Maybe I should open. This is the kind of stuff, I have 600 things to debug. I will not, like, probably someone will fix this, right? Surely other people have Horizon. I would appreciate if the core thread stuff appears there, even if clipped. So, Control U also. What do you mean? You discovered Control? I mean, hey, I did discover Control U due to YouTube comments, so we're on the same boat, kind of, sort of. I can't use anything else. Got nearly 30 years of Emacs use. Emacs user, I tend to Control A and K. Happy to hear that. I do that too. Type in a string to search. Mac. You can type in a string to search. What do you? Ah, someone makes, yeah, no, it's not the same. Control R is searching your history, right? It's reverse search your shell history. Happy that you learned that. Probably there is no turning back. If you use reverse search shell history, it's a order of magnitude 10 times, like you instant 10x engineer improvement. So finally, by the way, what do you have? MKD file name. Most of those Emacs distros are based on eval. What? Try Doom Emacs with YouTube tutorial. By the way, one thing you might see me, another pro tip, a lightweight pro tip. You see me ... and ... right? These are two Rock Linux. I think Claire had that, or did Claire? At least the ... So I'm not sure who has those, but yeah, maybe I should actually make an auto. Maybe I should check if it's possible to write some bash or fat shell scripting stuff, like, because I only have ... and ... obviously 3 directories, right? It's like, yeah, theoretically I probably should make this automatically and expand it to any number of dots or so. But the kind of stuff like, why does this not work since DOS, like, you can arbitrary amount of dots to, but anyway. So what else? All right, this was the Usability. Let's, what build was it even? Open, let's see if that, what we just quirked for target config open risk Usability, I guess. People got Control A and K in their blood. Happy to hear that. Yeah, Control R is much better than history grep foo, which, yeah. Also, I mean, with Control R, you immediately have it to edit and initiate, and okay, this fixed. I probably should. The reason, command. All right, yeah, this. You see, I wanted to say it works, but it doesn't add. Did I not leave a space there? There even is. All right, I didn't enter that. Usability parse config. Just lets it open. Apparently, it's a little bit stupid that shell needs most shells, many shells, all shells need a space there. Yeah. Probably for good POSIX compliant and other parsing reasons. Good, so that probably works. When GDB finished. So the reason that's a little bit superfluous that we built GDB here, it's wasting, it's basically for me, that's a cross GDB, so that when I need to debug something, I have it readily available. I just did this recently, like last year or whatever, that we always cross compile a cross debug GDB to have it around, yeah, like 1 minute or so, whatever. What else do we? There's only one. By the way, the second, other, or third quality of life improvement is of course a Tmux, right? What previously was GNU Screen, but if all GNU maintainers are not as friendly then, or code quality. I believe there was also not a release of Screen in nearly a decade, right? So now of course everyone uses the more modern Tmux, or leave me in the comments below if not. So we have still two ports this Apple ZOS thing there. Not really sure why I have that there, but probably also for good reasons. What do we have there? AMK init there we also have some more change. Oh, this is just the who will backup for some reason. Oops, delete. I still use just the Ctrl-C. It's if you do this for 20 years, it will take another 10 years to get, or at least 2 or whatever. What do we even have in this here? Oh, right, this was the libsdl thing. I think it was mostly for cross-compiling, so... what? Ah. I think we did this as recently as yesterday or so, or the day before yesterday. Fixed pipe wire cross, or I usually call this guide pipe wire cross cross compiling pipe wire without libstl2, so because it would use this from the system or try to use it from the system headers, which of course do not work then. So, and it obviously marks the dependency optionally with our new code. Amazing. Good. Does this still builds? How can this build so long? Are you seriously? Are you okay? I mean, yeah, the load gets high, so obviously if you want a slow system, build everything at once. Anthony still uses Screen. I was also late to Tmux, but I'm using it now for like 4 years or so. Maybe Tmux might be something that was inspired by YouTube comments. Maybe someone commented like 5 years ago, one of my first videos, "You're still using Screen, why not using Tmux?" And I was like, Tmux what? But yeah, 5 years ago it was still a little bit newer than it is more established today. Good, stuff is building, except what this, yeah, DDB probably eventually will come around. Yeah, porting Apple ZOS to the new grub, so all the other grub stuff is, I believe, ready. Alright, this one here. Oh, what is this? Pixman, and Pixman is apparently Neon. Okay, this is probably fixed Pixman not to run out to conf end meson. And fixed it to, so I believe it's trying to use Neon's disable, some of this didn't build Neon sim before now. Need to check. This is usually, it didn't build, it's not worth my time. If, like, basically if we run ARM desktop more, maybe soon, maybe should we mark all? Yeah. It's, yeah. It's basically the maintainer's burden, of which of course we need more to maybe systematically review if quirks are still needed. Theoretically, it might be, no, not build. Not build, so let's, let's go here, let's manually split that here and build, let's move that manually here. Open risk Usability, so that it's part of our monstrous Tmux there. So all the builds are using .2 here because we use old configs. That surely regenerates the config. So this is what's currently building, right? Then we can soon call it a day. Leave in the comments below, basically, let's see. So just many notifications. When you become a influencer, you have always enough notifications. So probably I need to digital detox in the meantime. So many different social media platforms going on. So theoretically, Apple said to us we need to port this to changed EFI stuff, which kinda deserves an own live stream. What is with Enlightenment 16? And alright, this was somehow also entirely stupid. Oh, this was such a clusterfuck. Yeah, I think. So this was only. So what I'm changing here, if not i386, and we change this, so we always disable that for Musel. Because so Musel didn't have something of some sort. Somehow that didn't build, no, it didn't save the didn't save the build error. What else do we have here? Start VM patch. So this Musel thing here, the best thing would be to reproduce it and copy the actual build error, and that's probably something of that sort, either LLVM not LLSeek or LSeek not defined or redefined, or I guess. So this was just set routing that again, right? This was somehow, I remember this, we did this live. First I cleaned this up and then I realized it's not so great idea if you don't have any startup colors. So basically this is reverts here basically, I guess. Because initially I thought, like when we were debugging something, I thought like this old-fashioned dark cyan is maybe, yeah. But right, because then TW, because I thought TWM comes up with some background thing, but it doesn't. And then you have basically only mouse cursor, and that somehow looked alien to me. Yeah, it is what it is. Revert of this, because yeah. I mean, not that someone would use TWM, but reverted that because I didn't like it. Reverted, remove superfluous forward. So it's fine. One cleanup there, one revert there. So the scrub stuff is larger. I mean, I don't need it. I mean, yeah, I mean it. Okay, maybe I don't commit to it. This theoretically somehow. Shall I subscribe Patreon? I wanted PS3 VRAM early, but somehow this errored out. Maybe this is timing. I patched that, so I think probably the root cause. So basically, this enabling PS3 VRAM early, which I wanted for retail, for installing better, which would be beneficial. but then I didn't have frame buffer, right? So I guess what happens is, so earlier PS3 VRAM didn't depend on PS3 frame buffer, so that would look, this would load either concurrently or randomly first, and then PS3 VRAM would claim all the VRAM, and then you wouldn't have a frame buffer and working frame buffer at all. So I patched PS3 VRAM to depend and load PS3 FB first. However, I think this still didn't work. Maybe PS3 frame buffer takes too long to initialize and PS3 VRAM is already loaded. Maybe we need to add there some. So basically, long story short, I need to debug that, right? So basically, maybe we release ISOs like this of some local change. It's not the super finest thing to do, but I don't really want to. So I even patched amp utils like a swap. Felix von Leitner's amp utils didn't have swap on, so I wrote even a tiny swap on thing there for amp utils that appears to work. So yeah, I guess I leave it like that for now. Like this is how usually 100 changes accumulate in my working copy, of which of course currently we are down to nearly only. This was that one, right? Yeah. Mostly grub2 stuff. Here's some vimRC. I still need to debug that. That is super H. Excuse me. But we're getting there. All right, so somehow this failed cling. I remember that. This is, by the way, you build. I added a 35th build configuration, and people might think, why do I put too much on my plate and build 35 freaking maybe more than Debian distribution variants? And lo and behold, I added ARM64 clang. I didn't even think much about it, except people who hate x86 and love modern ARM desktop might also like a non-GCC thing, which is, that was the thinking of like, let's not build one like x86-64 with clang, let's also build ARM64 with clang. Like additionally, right? We have ARM64 glibc, GCC, and a clang variant just for a little bit more testing. And of course it surely uncovered 1, 2, or 3 things, right? Including that used some, all right, so that, all right, somehow, all right, clang, basically clang didn't, I think clang didn't support MFPU. I think, as far as I remember, clang errored out with MFPU argument option thing not supported for this architecture. The question is, does this build the glibc build? Which is probably what we would want to wait for. Which is the reason I didn't commit some of the stuff, as you realize it's not totally tested, right? Might be a quick fix thing there, not fully tested there, like this. Like, yeah, this is how we leave that in here another day or two. Okay, maybe, no, looks. OpenSSL errored out. Okay, so this is a brand new OpenSSL version. Oh, atomic stuff. Yeah. Okay, it's a super brand new, latest and greatest OpenSSL version. Maybe we see similar stuff for other architectures. If all our architectures end up accumulating this year, this is atomic open risk. If all or nearly all are affected, we simply add their latomic.arch 32, I believe. Arch or CPU 32, one of those is supported there. Yeah, and that's why we live stream, right? Fixes, all the constants, change, and regressions. And even if you fix stuff for months, Christmas and New Year, when you're then finally on the 2nd day of February want to rebuild all the earth, of course you find 1, 2, or a dozen of last minute things. Dirk says, gets completely lost in screen Tmax. And basically the thing is, I mean, for me mostly, I mean, if you do this locally, of course, you can have a handful of terminals, but this stuff is remotely, right? I'm sitting usually on my Steam Deck thin client, today though on the 1350X test rig, and then you can have one secure shell or MOSH, mobile optimized connection there, MOSH or just SSH, to your data center, to your server room, and have multiple, like one secure shell and a handful, and just like switch, similar to a tapped terminal, right? What else I want to say? Not sure. Not really sure what I wanted to say there, except OpenSSL fixes. Yeah, we're getting there. Hopefully this is most things. Oh, there's actually... right, this is because we did this manually here. Can actually... But yeah, it's probably enough for today. Probably already easily, it's the usual hour, but we got all the... No, not all. We didn't even, 1 hour in. We staged that, how many? Maybe 5 or 6 minutes. This is 4 by 4 is 16-ish. So it's not even half of all the builds, right? So this will build for 36 hours. And then we, plus a couple of fixes. Let's hope we didn't find major things. I should have built this instantly there though in the other. People know Discord share their copy protected batteries. The GNU step maintainers still run strong. Maybe, not really sure what's going on here now. Good. Stuff is still building. Okay, this runs until the link. So the Apple Set OS thing is of course a magic authentication that you are a Apple blessed OS that can use the Gmux. Otherwise, the Apple older Retina MacBook firmware with dual graphics turn off the integrated graphics, and then you only have the NVIDIA, which is certainly not ideal. Many Linux, also for, I mean, not only for battery life, but also for Linux drivers. Most open source users probably would prefer the Intel driver, which is why this is actually rather essential. Okay, this is also built. Let's Control C that and continue that there. Get text, good. By the way, do I have enough space here? I should probably resize this. Last time I ran a little bit short of space here. Maybe if I run out of space, I probably should simply resize. I guess when I next time rediff that, I can clone that again. Sorry, folks, if I need to. It's not your bandwidth, it's GitHub bandwidth, so. I mean, we could give. Oh wait! Ah, darn! No, I made a mistake. I was here when the moving in Tmux is complicated. Shit. Need to Google that. Darn it, that was not ideal. It is okay, it is what it is. No one is there because I was working. That's exactly why I actually was working here. Mistakes were made. Yeah, let's maybe move this Apple Set OS thing over there and maybe, yeah, probably we should, yeah, we will not mix it here. So basically build is going, as you see. The force is strong with this build. Don't forget to comment on my More main channel what one feature you would like to see in the desktop Linux. And I hope you enjoyed this, learned something. If you were wondering, this is of course our Linux distribution release coming any day now, including improved PS3 support. And if you want to comment here your one wish for desktop Linux. I hope you enjoyed this, learned something. Have a good day night. Go out, do nice things, be nice to each other, and see you soon for all the amazing stuff. And maybe don't forget to Patreon, GitHub sponsor, or YouTube membership.